This is the NITECORE EDC29, and I am very excited about this light. When I first got it last night, I took it out and immediately did some testing with it. It was just some basic stuff. I was just comparing it to my PowerTech M5 G2 that I normally carry, and then putting it up against car headlights and looking at some different lighting conditions with this light. How well does it perform? Now, why am I so excited about this light? It is 6,500 lumens. That's crazy bright. And the funny thing is, a lot of people have shown me their cool gun. I didn't give a shit. Because I've seen all the cool guns and I've shot a lot of cool guns, so I'm not that excited about it. It basically has to be something Soviet for me to really care. But when we look at the technology in flashlights and how that has advanced over the past 20 years compared to guns, flashlights have gotten a lot better. And this is a light that I've been wanting to get for a while, probably for a year. I just didn't buy it because I couldn't justify spending the extra money to get a new light when I have so many great lights already. But NITECORE sent this to me, and I'm going to be reviewing it for you guys. So, looking at this light, my initial impressions is it's basically like a Surefire stiletto on steroids because it's way brighter, right? Now, as far as the buttons go, I'm not sure if I would want to use this as a fighting light. Now, I certainly think you could, but if we want something that is more simple to operate during the fight, this isn't as simple, okay? We could just operate on one button and get it done, sure. But the fact that there's two buttons on the top, that could become an issue. The fact that the super bright 6,500 lumens, you can't just hold that on and roll with it, that could become an issue. So I'm interested in hearing your thoughts on that. Go ahead and comment that when you've kind of gathered your thoughts after I talk about these buttons. Because I'm interested in hearing your opinion on this. Now, for a task light and just a light you're carrying around, maybe you have a handheld light that's for fighting, and then you have this light that you just, use for everything else like James Yeager used to do. I think that makes total sense. And also, you can think about it like this too. I'm carrying a weapon mount light. So, by all means, this could be my task light. My weapon mount light is my fighting light. Sure. But now let's go into kind of the switchology, the buttons on this, and let's talk through it. So first we have a lockout switch on the side. So we can keep it from having a light ND in our pocket, potentially. Of course, this could get switched down and then the button could get pressed or something like that could happen. But the lockout switch is there so that when it's in your pocket, you're not going to get it turned on when you don't want it to be on. And then you feel that burning sensation and then you pull it out and you're like, damn, I just had my light on for 8 minutes or whatever, which I've had happen before. And it's actually been one of the reasons why I've gone away from several different lights, especially when you have to twist the tail cap to go constant on. I found that to be a huge issue because either it would twist itself to the point where I couldn't turn it on with a button, or it would get twisted into constant on, and then my light would just be on in my pocket. So I like this lockout switch for those reasons. Now, the other thing we got the power button. Now, with both the power button and the customizable button, they have like a half press on, and then you can press it all the way on. So we'll talk about the power button first. With the power button, if I half press it, it goes to 15 lumens. Now, last night, after my family had gone to bed, I was using that to navigate my house. And it was plenty bright. It wasn't so dim that I would have been like, this will for sure not disturb anyone. You can still disturb someone if you got you're walking into your kid's room to grab something, or you got, maybe a friend passed out on your couch, you could still potentially disturb them because it's bright enough, but it's not crazy bright. I have other lights where you can go even lower than that on the lowest setting. I think down to 5 lumens on some of them. But I think this is plenty dim where I can do everything I need to inside my house without using a lot of battery, without making it crazy bright where I just am like, oh, I'm not gonna be able to fall asleep again. And I can get done wherever I need to get done. But that's when you just press in halfway. Now, if I press in all the way, it will go to constant on, and then it will be at whatever you have it set to be at for constant on. And we have different modes, right? So it could be on constant on at 15 lumens, at 100 lumens, at 400 lumens, or at 1200 lumens. Now, testing the 1200 lumens outside too, it was pretty good. The hotspot on this light is very nice. So wherever you are trying to see, if you put that hotspot on it, it is pretty easy to identify whatever you need to. Now, I'll test this at different distances. And again, I want you to think about hey, would this be a good fighting light? And comment that below. But also, I want you to comment below things you want me to test with this light. And that way I get some ideas on how to make my videos better for you. But going to constant with this, man, it was good. I think that potentially you could operate this light in a fighting sense. If you say you're I don't like that, but say you had to, you could operate it in constant on and just turn on when you want it on, turn off when you want it off. And I think you could get it done like that. And it's not the brightest in constant on, because again, it's only 1200 lumens, but it is very bright, and that hotspot works pretty damn well. So there was times that we were testing it where I was standing in a lit area and I was shining 2000 lumens back at the light, or back at the camera. And there's times where I was staying in that area with, I think, 1000 lumens shining back at the camera. And we saw pretty good results with the 1200 lumens from the EDC29. Now, that's the power button. So again, you can go half in and get your 15 lumens, or you can click it in all the way and it will go to whatever you set it to be at. I would keep it at the 1200 lumens. Then we have the customizable button. That is where we get that super awesome power, with a full 6500 lumens. Now, the thing I see that could be an issue with using this as a fighting light is you're not able to keep it at 6500 lumens for a long time. So when you turn it on, it goes to a timer because it's going to keep the light from burning itself out. Then that timer has to recharge. Now, it gets noticeably hot when you're using it. So I think it's a good thing that they have it. It's kind of like they're right at that edge of capability, and we're going to blow this light up because it's getting so bright. But that's something to realize is when you're going on that customizable button and you're going to the super bright settings, that you are limited on the amount of time that you can use it. Now, with the customizable button, there's again a half press option, and there you'll get 3000 lumens. And then if you push all the way in, you get that 6500 lumens. Now, using it, I didn't see a huge difference initially between using the 3000 and the 6500 lumens as far as what I could see, but they call it the lumen shield. So as far as putting out a light wall that makes it harder to see what's going on behind the light, I can see where it makes sense to have that 6500 lumen option. And if anything, I think it's cool that I can get that much light out of it. So here's the other thing I was thinking about is using it as a fighting light. I could do the constant on and then turn it off. Or I could use that customizable button and I could press in halfway or press in all the way to get that 3000 or that 6500 lumens. And that will operate as a momentary. So do you think in a fighting sense, you could just grip it in such a way where you're only pressing that button? Again, I think this could potentially be an issue where you're pressing both at once, and then you would inadvertently go to constant on when you wanted the momentary. I think that's a potential issue, something to recognize if you're thinking about carrying this and that's your only option for light during a gunfight. And again, it's where you could just carry a second handheld that is simpler and doesn't have as many things going on with the buttons that could go wrong. Or you could have a weapon mount light, and when you're shooting, you just operate off of the weapon mount light. What do you guys think? Do you think you could run this in a fight and be fine, or do you think it's too complicated? I want to hear what your guys' opinions are. Do you think this would make a good task light, and then you just carry another light for fighting? What are you thinking? And again, I want to hear, what tests do you want to see? Do you want to see this put up against a certain light that you know I have already, or do you want to see a certain lighting condition experimented with this light? Let's hear it down in the comments. So anyways, I'd like to thank NITECORE for sending this to me. Also, take a look at NITECORE's stuff and tell me if there's any lights on their list that you want to see me test as well, because I am very excited to be working with them, and I am very excited to try out their lights. I've been wanting this one for a long time, like I said. So anyways, that's it. Thank you for watching. Keep fighting communism. Kill all pedophiles. And remember that training saves lives.